Ja. Trinken holen oder kann man eine Flasche Wasser oder eine Apfelschorle oder so bringen?
Kannst gehen, deine Kamera funktioniert ja ähnlich. Jetzt haben wir erstmal Alejandro drauf und also deine Kamera hat andauernd Aussetzer und dann müssen wir mal sehen, was da los ist.
Ach krass, ja, ich guck mal kurz, was ich denke.
Berlin set off on their second lap as well.
Stuttgart is almost at the end of their lap. And it's a 71.11. That is a new fastest time in the combustion class. And it's only their first run.
Oh, and Auburn spins out in the first turn, takes out a few cones. Manages to get the car restarted. Hopefully continue the run. Look like they'll be improving their time. Berlin finishes their lap with a time of 99.09 seconds as Stuttgart sets off for their second lap, hoping to better their class-leading time of 71.11 seconds. Auburn appears to be going a bit slowly through the cone killer. Hopefully they don't get in the way of Stuttgart on their run.
It appears to have steered off track. Let's see if that situation is deemed safe enough by the marshals to allow Stuttgart to continue their run.
So you've got a waved yellow flag.
Yep, Stuttgart will get a rerun, as yellow flags have been waved, and they are now supposed to drive through the end of the lap slowly. Even with that delay, Stuttgart managed to get around the track in 75.72, but they will get a third attempt. First though, it's TU Munich at the start line.
TU Munich with the start of their lap.
TU Munich have a very aggressive aero package, and they reckon that their package has the most downforce of the entire competition, probably. While we wait for Stuttgart to be allowed to start their run, and they're off for the rerun of their second run of the first driver. Meanwhile, unfortunately, it appears that the TU Munich car is touched the ground on places where they were not supposed to, so their very fast time of 71.4 will not be allowed in the score. Stuttgart still in a clean lap. And it's a 69.64, which is easily the fastest combustion time so far.
This is quite the reaction from the crowd up in the north stands.
So a quick look at the scoreboard teaches us that Stuttgart's run was only 1/100th of a second slower than the one from Delft. Also keep in mind that Karlsruhe's time that tops the board right now from the electric car actually had a cone. So right now, Delft and Stuttgart sort of have the shared fastest time, you could almost say.
US Gießen takes the green flag for their first run. Beijing, car number E66 takes the green flag for their second run of the afternoon.
As TU Graz approaches the start line.
Beijing with a bit of a lock-up through the pendulum and manages to stay on track. Gießen finishes their first run at a time of 80.65 seconds. Here Graz takes the green flag.
No corrections for the pendulum. There. As Gießen is out again. They're just starting their second run. They actually lacked the scoreboard for quite a while. 12 seconds. Graz gets a 72.82, which is very fast, especially for a first run. Meanwhile, UAS Munich, the electric car, lines up, and they're off.
stopped on track. Cone killer chicaner, sorry. Still pointed the wrong way.
They're still moving though, and they seem to be on their way again.
Decent finishes their run. We've just received word they've gotten a DNF for touching the ground. So that might be bad for them, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, the Graz driver is sliding around on a mission to beat his previous time of 72.82 and get even closer to the top of the board.
I think in technical terms he's given it the beans. And US Munich finishes with a time of 76.13 seconds. Almost 60 for Weingarten.
Graz still looking good. And with a big thump, they get a 71.6 through.
Weingarten's still making their way around the course, taking it a bit easy on this first lap. US Munich starts their second lap. A cheer from the stand. University of Thessaly takes the green flag for their second run. Weingarten finished the first lap at 91.37 seconds.
They're taking a very careful approach towards the part after the finish line, which is probably wise, as we've seen at least 3 teams going off course after the finish line. Unfortunately, that still counts toward an off course on your lap, so teams are advised not to go over there too fast. While Munich finishes in a very quick 72.5. More than 3.5 seconds faster than his first lap.
Weingarten takes the green flag for their second run. Car is actually called Nessus R. That's named after the centaur that defeated Hercules.
I suppose that should mean that that car should be faster than the Hercules racing car. But they do come up slightly short for that, with an 81.27.
UAS Graz takes the green flag.
UAS Graz, of course, handily won the acceleration event among combustion cars this morning. As Weingarten so time by almost 9 seconds.
Meanwhile, University of Pennsylvania is taking the green flag and making their way through the pendulum now. Gratz finishes with a time of 74.02 seconds.
Just to remind everybody, Kassel is the team that actually was on track as the very first, and they put in a very spectacular lap back then. Their previous driver was sliding all over the place. Let's see if this one can do the same. In fact, I think this may be the same driver, as it's only the second run of this car.
UAS Gratz takes the green flag behind him. The car's got a very distinct engine note. Kassel finishes their second lap with a time of 74.21 seconds, which is quite a big improvement over the first lap. Gratz and Padova continue to circulate the track. Finishes with a time of 72.8 seconds. About 1.2 seconds from the first one. And Hamburg takes the green flag. US Constance approaches the start line and gets a big cheer from the crowd. As Padova finishes their second run with a time of 72.9 seconds. Quite quick for them. Constance sets off. Up to finish their lap. It's time of 71.38 seconds. Things are going very quick for them.
It did look like they had it coming though.
Making their first lap. They've got a unique double-decker front wing. Finishes their first run with a time of 77.87 seconds.
Stuttgart puts in a major improvement, and 70.65 puts him right on top. Well, right behind Karlsruhe, basically.
Western University with a time of 75.9, an improvement of about 2 seconds from their first run. Moscow University lines up to take the green flag now. They sounded quite spectacular in their first few runs, so hopefully that continues.
I think we see GFR rolling up to the starting line. GFR combustion, that is. They may not quite be the next car, but they are first in one of the queues. Yep, here they are.
Kommst du ja nicht ran. Ohne Stativ. Kommst du ja nicht anfangen.
This should be a quick lap. Let's see what these guys can do. Looking very tight for the pendulum. GFR puts in a spectacular slide in the last corner as they finish in 68.87, which is the new fastest time in the combustion class. As you can see, it's also within half a second of the fastest car in the electric class.
University of Lira, car number 80 from Portugal, takes the green flag. Renault finishes the lap with a time of 82.48 seconds as Lira makes their way through the pendulum.
This is actually the first car that the team from Portugal have built. As GFR re-enters the track, they were already the fastest overall on their first run, so we'll be curious to see how much faster they can go still. spectacular slide, but he catches the cone.
Team Renault takes the green flag for their second lap. They're 91.86 seconds on their first lap.
GFR is driving, pushing really hard. As he slides through the last corner, unfortunately, they will get a DNF as well. Yes, this is the fastest time so far, but this lap does not count. Unfortunately, like a couple of teams before them, they have hit the ground where they're not allowed to. Still very impressive. If they can fix this problem, I'm sure their second driver will top the board at the end of the day.
Takes the green flag for the start of their second lap. Looking to improve on their lap time of 91.86 seconds. Renault finishes their second lap with a time of 78.05. Car number E33 from EPH Zurich takes the green flag for their first run. We expect them to be relatively quick.
Although the official counting times are a bit slower, GFR has just shown that you can finish this track in 67.98 seconds. Let's see if Zurich can beat that.
Car number 98 from Bangkok takes the green flag. On a spin from car number 80 from Portugal in the penultimate turn.
And it's a red flag, which means that Zurich will not be able to finish this lap.
He's dragging a few cones with him now. Looks like it's dislodged itself. Does not improve on their first time.
It has taken a while, but it seems like the track has now been reconstructed. And I suppose that Zurich will soon be allowed to drive back to the start. Bangkok has been told to take a shortcut. It appears the tracking system active light from Zurich is not on, which might suggest that the car simply cannot start right now. Let's hope they can get their car running at some point again, because they were on a very quick lap. For now, though, they're being pushed off the track.
Bangkok moves up to the green flag to prepare to restart its first run. Bangkok takes out a cone on the entrance to the pendulum.
He's actually taking a cone with him right now.
US Coburg starts their second run of the day. Bangkok finishes their run with a time of 90.41 seconds, and maybe that cone is still with them. And they've retrieved the cone from the Bangkok car. Kosberg coming around the final turn. Finished their second run with a time of 82.3 seconds, which is quicker than their first run. Meanwhile, US Niederheim is making their way around the course. Had a smooth run so far. Bangkok takes the green flag for their second run straight after their first. I guess it's actually their third run after the rerun caused by the red flag a few minutes earlier. Oh, and he tips a cone, but it doesn't look like it's left the box. He may have gotten lucky there. US Niederheim with a bit of understeer through the final corner, but still managing a time of 82.88 seconds. Eslingen, the combustion car takes the green flag. Bangkok takes the checkered flag with a time of 88.44 seconds. That's about a 2-second improvement over the previous best.
Esslingen have actually developed a pretty cool suspension system on both the front and rear. They have an extra damper. Separately from roll.
And it looks like they've just taken out a cone through the cone killer chicane. They finished the run with a good time of 73.67, but there is at least one cone involved with that run. Next up is the Eslingen electric car. Let's see how they can compare against their combustion teammates.
Unfortunately, car 94 from Esslingen has also received a DNF for their first run. Let's hope car E94 can perform a clean run in terms of hitting ground. And of course, we're still curious to see how fast it will be compared to his combustion cousin.
Appears to be going slowly through the hairpin. Looks like there's something wrong. The tractor system light is still on.
I seriously doubt that was by choice. But they appear to get the car going again. Looks like the brake light of the E94 Esslingen car is on all the time. I'm sure that's an indication of something that's not completely right. As the combustion car from Esslingen takes to the track again. Let's hope they will not touch the ground right now.
Car from Esslingen takes the checkered flag of 1:8.82 seconds. Looks like they've received a DNF as well, presumably for touching ground. Been here in a few spots as they're on the circuit.
It doesn't seem that the electric car from Esslingen have problems drive for a moment. In each of those instances, they were able to get power back very quickly, but they definitely lost time with that, which must be one of the causes of their not too stellar time. Meanwhile, the combustion car is almost at the end of its second stint. Pushing through the last corner. And we'll be curious to see if their time of 72.69 will stand or if they will receive a second DNF. Let's hope not for them. While Liverpool take to the track.
Liverpool make their way through the hairpin, approaching the pendulum. Very steady approach to this first lap.
We're still waiting for confirmation if the lap by Esslingen, the second combustion lap, was clean. Unfortunately, it has been decided that it was not.
Liverpool still having clean run as they make their way around the track, just about to the slalom, and as I say that, they've taken out a cone. You know, green team Stuttgart has taken the green flag.
They were having struggles this morning during acceleration to get their car running, although they did finish one run in the end. So far, they're looking pretty good. Last year, they were very quick in endurance.
Erlangen has taken the green flag for their first run in car number 49 as Liverpool makes their way through the final few turns of the track. Finished the run with a time of 98.71 seconds.
As Green Team Stuttgart works his way through the cone killer chicane, through the kink, and very fast towards the final corner. Luckily, this car has no chains, so he will not have to fear losing those as he crosses the line in 72.81.
Very good first run for them. Good slogan if you ask me. Liverpool takes the green flag for their second lap, looking to improve on the 98.71 second run they had in their first attempt. finishes their first run with a time of 75.24 seconds.
It appears that car 49 from Erlangen has seen the same fate as some of the other cars before it by receiving a DNF.
Great team Stuttgart at the start of their second lap. They've hit a few cones running the hairpin. Really giving the marshals some running to do.
I think we're up to 4 cones now. Looks like the driver simply pushing too hard.
Erlangen starts their second attempt. As Liverpool comes across the line for their second lap. Time of 92.7 seconds. That's a 6-second improvement on their first run.
As we're slowly losing count of the number of cones that Green Team Stuttgart have hit on this lap, it's at least 5.
Oh, and a spin for Erlangen. Looks like they leave the track, getting pointed right direction and continue on. A big penalty there, though.
But they do leave us with a couple of very spectacular slides. Stuttgart pounding through the last couple of corners, with a cone stuck under their car. And it's a 69.75, which is very impressive, had it not been for the additional 10 seconds that they will receive for the cones.
Whereas St. Augustine out for their third run of the day.
While Erlangen finishes the lap that they spun earlier. Let's see if this lap was at least clean for them. It's still a 79.23, but of course they will receive an off-course penalty.
St. Augustine still making a good run through the first half of the lap, approaching the slalom. St. Augustine makes their way to the final few turns of the track. As we've a great noise as it finishes with a time of 74.83 seconds. Meanwhile, our collection of cones that have gone for rides along the track has increased to 2 now. We've got here at the commentating booth.
Yep, I'm pretty sure this is now the lightest cone on track.
Yeah, it really puts the first one to shame. Glasgow's still making its way around the track. It's approaching the horseshoe in a minute. Beirut has taken the green flag.
Actually appears to be bottoming around the track, except for those 2 parts. But it does it so violently that you have to wonder if it will survive an entire endurance.
Comes the car from Scotland as it finishes its lap. Car number 75 from the University of Strathclyde. They finished with a time of 91.02 seconds on their first run. St. Augustine has started their 4th run of the day, trying to improve in their time of 74.83 seconds. They just set a few minutes ago.
St. Augustine definitely showing the benefits of torque vectoring as they can change direction very quickly through the pendulum.
Strathclyde getting a bit loose through the first few turns, but managed to keep it on track and in the right direction. Beirut finishes with a time of 76.77 seconds. Strathclyde looking a bit smoother through the pendulum lap. Finishes with a time of 71.81 seconds as he's sideways across the line.
And has to scrape a couple more millimeters off their wing. That actually gets them near the top of the board in the electric class.
Mr. Washington makes the way around.
Cars and track so far. May just be that the noise that Washington makes is quite a bit louder.
We've got Valencia about to take the green flag. If you're not paying attention, we go from the one of the quietest cars to one of the loudest cars we've got here. It's a DNF for Washington, unfortunately, as Valencia takes the green flag. Washington apparently hit the ground in sector 9. Beirut finishes with a time of 74.42 seconds. Fourth and final attempt at the Autocross today. Oxford Brooks is the next car coming up to the line to take the green flag.
Valencia finishes, and actually they're pretty quiet for today. We've heard them make quite a lot of noise before on this racing track, practice track. Let's see if they can bring out their green flags for the second time. First Oxford Brooks.
Still got University of Washington circulating over by the cone killer chicane. Make their way through that cleanly. Dr. Brooks takes the green flag. Very smooth through the first portion of the lap. Make their way into the wing section of the track and into the slalom.
Valencia starts our second lap. We have 1.5 hours of running time left. The Autocross is supposed to close at 7.
Oxford Brooks finishes the time of 73.37 seconds on their first run, going straight to their second run. flag again, and he gets a bit loose on the first turn, takes out several cones.
I think that second cone actually
takes
doesn't
out
count.
a few more
However,
down for the
he
hairpin.
compensates for that. Yep.
Another few for good measure as he exits the hairpin, trying to set the high score.
I was going to compliment Oxford Brooks on that one cone that actually bounced right back into his box, but then they hit another 3. So maybe overall it's not such a great feat after all.
Still pushing though. So get some good learning for the endurance run. The very quick second half of the lap gives Oxford Brooks a 71.61, but I bet they've got about 15 seconds of cone penalties that are going to be added onto that one.
Still, 71 is decent, and it promises a lot for their second driver. Yep, as we can see now, that would have actually put him in 4th place overall. So let's hope their second driver can put together a clean lap. The man with the green flag has gotten his refill of the water bottle, so we're back in business again. And the next car is car 26.
Starts its run, taking off a bit slowly. I believe this is the first time we've seen the car on track this weekend. It's a clean run so far as he makes his way into the pendulum. He's now making his way into the slalom, and he's still got a clean run going on. Up next, we've got Loughborough University back out for their, I believe it's their 3rd one. I stand corrected, it's the 4th run for Loughborough. University of Navarra finishes their first run with a time of 103.89 seconds. Loughborough makes their way through the pendulum. You can see the drivers sawing at the wheel, trying to get the car around the track as quickly as possible. Navarra starts their second run in car number 26. Loughborough finishes their final run with their quickest time of the day. It's a 77.61 second run for Loughborough. Navarra's still got their clean run going on, making their way to the first shootout. And Hunan University takes the green flag. Their first run today.
Yep, it's the second time.
Big improvement for Navarra with a time of 90.44 seconds. That shaved over 13 seconds off their first run. So Loughborough starts their final run of the day. It says run number 5, but they did have a rerun earlier on in the day. Hunan University finishes with a time of 82.6 seconds on their first run. As Chalmers starts their first run of the Autocross. The first electric car done by Chalmers. Smooth run so far through the pendulum. And Loughborough crosses the line with a time of 75.62 seconds. That's their fastest time of the day, so they end on a high note. Hunan University takes the green flag for their second run. As Chalmers navigates around the backside of the course.
Their electric counterparts from Beijing actually put in a time that's slightly faster than their first run, which is 81.64. Let's see if the guys from Hunan can beat that, as UAS Munich takes to the track with their combustion car, and Chalmers finishes their lap.
Chalmers with a 77.21 second lap time. And it appears that Hunan is stopped on circuit just after the slalom. Marshals are attending the car. See red flags being waved. So Munich will get a rerun.
That is a rerun for Munich.
Hunan drivers out of the car.
The first driver for US Munich was actually pretty quick already. They drove a 73.57, which puts him for now in 7th position overall in the combustion class.
Now got the Hunan car lifted up onto trolleys so they can move it off the track easily. Marshall's work to get the car off the track. It looks like Chalmers will be up next, followed by Munich taking the rerun. Well, there's a break in the action. A reminder, if you've got any questions or comments, send us a tweet at FSG Live, and we'll do our best to answer in a timely manner. We also accept jokes. We now got the Hunan car cleared off the track. And it looks like Chalmers is going to be given the green flag any second now. And they just have, and they're off. Quite quick through the pendulum. As Munich takes the green flag for their rerun.
Toronto kind of sounding like a Harley Davidson while taking to the track and taking out a cone in the first corner. And Chalmers slides through the last corner and finishes at 75.24. Remember, this is their first election. It's a very impressive performance. Sort of looking all over the place. Spectacular slide, spin. Car still running though, as Munich crosses the line in 74.41.
finished their run with a time of 97.6 seconds. Freiburg takes the green flag. Freiburg did quite well in the skin pad event yesterday. So that handling will translate to the Autocross event. Westphalia finishes their third run with a time of 81.46 seconds, which is not an improvement. And Munich finishes with a time of 72.05 seconds, which is a personal best on their final run.
And as promised, that 72.05 Munich would have taken them to the top 5. Unfortunately, they have a DNF. Freiburg finishes at 79.61. We just got confirmation that Munich
lap with a time of 84.99 seconds. Yeah, it's very loud in terms of perception noise. Of course, all the cars have to adhere to the stringent sound limit. Westphalia takes the checkered flag with a time of 77.57 seconds. That's their best run of the day on their final run. As Moscow University takes the green flag for their third run. Freiburg completes their second lap with a time of 73.22 seconds. Quite a big improvement for them. Over 6 seconds and get a cheer from the crowd in the stands. Moscow with a clean run so far. So 1:10 from Wroclaw taking the green flag.
The time of Freiburg, 73.22, gets them in provisional 8th place within the electric class so far.
Looks like car E35 also received a DNF.
It is raining DNFs right now. All of the ones that we have had confirmation about what the cause was, it turned out to be bottom and wings. We haven't heard from all of them though, but we're assuming that that is the case for all of those cars.
Car number 68 makes its way around the course for its first run. As Wroclaw while it comes around the final few corners. Oh, the driver's really pushing and hits the wall as he crosses the finish line. Or as if he's crashed into the timing beacon. Certainly gone off track. A very over-enthusiastic guy coming out of the last turn. And the cone. Looks like the car is still all right.
Yep, the timing equipment needs to be realigned. So all the cars currently on track will get a rerun. The reason that car from Poland crashed so convincingly into the timing equipment was that one of the cones got stuck under one of his wheels, causing him to lose grip. So he just understeered and slid right into the barrier. Well, it seems like the timing equipment is still working, or working again rather.
Karachai is actually in Pakistan. It's the first ever Formula student team from Pakistan. They've competed at FSUK for a few years, but this is their first appearance at Formula Student Germany. That's Roklaw. Takes their fourth one. Karachai also gets the green flag. All right, Roklaw's in the final corner, trying not to take out the time equipment, and that worked, and it's 76.12. Quite generously, it appears that the timing system still registered a time for Roklaw in the previous run. Although, of course, there will be some added time to that, because, you know, of course, meanwhile, Moscow is on track. Karachai continuing to make a clean run around the back of the circuit. Danish university. Karachai finishes with a time of 1:09.85 seconds in their first run.
The car from Moscow has a supercharger and it's making all sorts of interesting noises.
Turn of 68 from Karachai takes the green flag for their second run.
I'm not entirely sure how smooth the power delivery of that Moscow car is, but it sure seemed pretty fast on the straights. They finished with an 89.9.
Karachai appears to be going really slowly just before the wing section. They've got the car going again. As Cal State Pomona takes the track for their second run. Nalborg finishes with a time of 92.54 seconds on their first run. Cal really pushing through the first section of track. And it looks like Karachai is stopped on track and there's a red flag being shown. So Pomona will have to re-execute the excellent first sector that they just put in order for it to count. On the bright side, I think they'll get to take a shortcut back to the start.
It's a pretty long shortcut. Perhaps the driver actually does fancy another look at the track from the car's perspective.
Maybe he's saving the shortcut for his timed run.
No, he's made up his mind. He's coming in our direction now.
I think the officials may have made up his mind for him in this instance.
That may have played a part.
Oh, he gets a big cheer from his fans he's faced right at.
For this excellently executed shortcut.
This was Mario Kart. All his friends would be really mad at him right now.
Pomona is one of many cars that struggled initially to get through sound. Not necessarily at this competition, but they, like many other teams, have many meters of exhaust and double dampers too.
We've also got a unique aerodynamic feature, which I've mentioned before. It's an asymmetrical winglet. I believe is to direct air towards the radiator on the right-hand side of the car.
I believe that too. However, I do also believe that...
Based on that cheer, I was correct in my guess. Yeah, sounds like that guess was correct.
I do also want to mention the excellently executed camouflage tape that is on that wing. Probably, yeah, that gets another cheer. Probably sort of disguise it from us or something, but it's pretty clearly visible, guys, I'm sorry.
Does one of them want to come over for a quick interview while we're waiting for the car to take the track? How are you finding the competition so far?
This is the greatest competition I've ever been to in my entire life. I love being here. I wish the American competitions were this much fun, and don't tell anyone I said that back home. Thank you, guys.
Well, best of luck for the rest of the competition. You've just taken the green flag, so we better go back to
The
watching
Deutsche
the action.
Feuerwehr has just entered the track. I'm not quite sure. There are no red flags out, and there's still a car running. So we have a small update. Of course, you all saw the foyer we're taking to the track and actually taking out a couple of cones with them. They had an incident at the practice area where there was smoke coming from a car where they had to assist. It shouldn't be much longer than a 5-minute break as all the marshals get back to their posts and of course the fire brigade gets back too. Please do not all start running towards the practice area so people over there can handle the incident better. Alright, we just confirmation that there was just smoke from a car and no fire. It's not a very big deal and we should be able to continue shortly.
As Cal Poly Pomona waits at the starting line, it feels as if there's a cool breeze that's starting to blow over the track. Potentially be some inclement weather incoming. Not sure what the forecast is, but certainly looking a lot cloudier in the direction the wind is coming from than where they're going. You'd expect the driver for Cal Poly Pomona to be extremely familiar with the first section of track now. This will be his third or fourth go at it. And the engine's fired up, which is a good sign. First gear's engaged, revving the engine, and he's off. Got the enthusiastic crowd behind us again, cheering him on. A very good run through the pendulum section of the track. A bit of a slide as he comes through past us. He's really pushing now. And for the wing section of track. A clean run so far. He's now getting into more uncharted territory. Both of his previous runs having been stopped before this point. But smoothly through the horseshoe. As McGill University takes the green flag for their first run.
They won the business plan presentation last night. As Zwickau is off for their third run. And Pomona puts in a great slide in the last corner. And it's a 74.25. Unfortunately, the guys from Pomona also got a DNF, presumably for bottoming, as McGill puts in at 79.05. Pomona did, however, manage to put their first runs in clean without bottoming, so let's hope their fourth one will be right too, as Zwickau comes in at a 71.82. That lap from Zwickau actually puts them in 5th place, only 1/100th of a second behind St. Augustin. But of course, they still have a 4th run. So let's see what they can do in that lap. If he can keep it clean, he should easily be able to get 4th place at least.
Cal Poly pushing again. This time with a lap time of 74.34 a second. Another quick time from them. Hopefully this one will stand.
Car 21 is about to join the track. When they ran their earlier laps, they were the fastest times up to then. The Zwickau driver is really giving it his all as he slides through the last couple corners, and it's a 70.76. That puts him solidly in the 4th place, about a second behind Stuttgart. Oh, and Vienna breaks off their wing at the end of the pendulum, and they go off track. Luckily, Karlsruhe is on an entirely different part of the track, and they get to finish in 72.24. For now, it's red flags though, as Vienna has to be taken out of the way. It does look like something that they should be able to fix before tomorrow's endurance, though.
It's just a bit of debris right through the pendulum. Looks like a wing support, some carbon fiber tubes.
I'm assuming he can still drive on his own power, so I'm not quite sure why he needs to be pushed.
Well, there's a bit of a delay in the action. Just want to give a shout out to Cardiff Racing, who's been watching this entire live stream for the entire weekend so far, even when there have been large segments of time with no cars on track. So yeah, thanks for Cardiff Racing. We appreciate the tweets. If anybody else wants to tweet us, it's at FSG Live. And hopefully we'll see you here soon, Cardiff.
Also, please give a hand to the dedicated marshal that just pushed Vienna the entire last section of the track.
I think he went purple in the last sector, if I'm honest. It appears as if Karlsruhe has received a DNF for their last run as well, with all this happening.
And UAS Graz has started their third lap. Without wanting to jinx it, let's hope they do not become the third DNF in a row. They too have pretty big wings. And now that Karlsruhe has rejoined the track, we actually have both of the AMG two-cylinder engines on track together.
And US Stralsund approaches the starting line, gets a cheer from the crowd.
UAS Graz looking really good with a 72.52, and he still has one lap to go.
Oh, it looks like he's received a DNF. Again, 3 in a row. There's carnage out there at the minute.
Shit, must have been my fault. But yes, UAS Graz got a DNF as well.
It also looks like Karlsruhe has taken out a cone. Bit of a slide through the last turn for Karlsruhe.
Let's wait and see if it was clean. It's very fast indeed.
US Graz has taken their fourth run. They've just started making their way through the pendulum now. Meanwhile, it looks like Karlsruhe's run of 70.95 seconds has stood. It's a very good run from them.
Let's hope Karlsruhe's lap will stand. If it does, it'll be the third time overall so far. But let's see what UAS Graz does. They look very good so far. Graz comes in at a 70.97, just behind Karlsruhe KIT. But unfortunately, immediately they are flagged off for having hit the ground.
US Constance gets set to take the green flag. They've got quite a big support section up in the stands with at least a horn, maybe some other instruments. As both US Stralsund and US Kempten continue to circulate the track. US Kempten with a time of 86.34 seconds on their first run. With that, there are just 40 minutes left in the Autocross event. US Kempten starts their second run as Stralsund crosses the finish line with a time of 84 seconds flat. But here's if they've received a DNF as well. US Constance with a time of 77.84 seconds, not an improvement over their best time which they set previously in the day. A small update about the finishing time of Autocross. The time will be extended. It will be extended by 7 minutes to end at 7:07 local time. Kempten with a time of 85.15 seconds on their second run. Just over a second quicker than their first run. The Western University from London, Canada, making their way around the second half of the course now, just coming through the final 3 turns. We finished with a lap of 75.91, not quite as quick as they ran earlier in the day.
With that, Leuven, car E20, takes to the track again with their second driver, and he immediately takes out a cone in the first corner.
Looks like he's got 2 cones.
Leuven's best time so far was a 97.41, 79 of course, 79.41, so let's see if they can improve on that. London, meanwhile, got incredibly close to their previous fastest time, which was 75.90. Their third run was a 75.91. So they should be able to break their best time so far in their fourth run. As Leuven comes across the line at 83.5. it's a 74.59. Leuven's driver, meanwhile, is looking for another 4 seconds if he wants to beat the previous driver. As Hertfordshire comes across the line at 75.24. I remember they were sliding very enthusiastically this morning at acceleration. DHBW Stuttgart is looking good so far. Their personal best so far is a 75.95. They might just be able to get under that. As Leuven improves their personal best with a 79.06. He's quite a bit quicker than his first lap. Hertfordshire's driving, having to correct quite a bit in the corner. It's a 78.14 for DHBW Stuttgart. Hertfordshire looking to improve on their 75, and it's a 73.57.
Unfortunately, they've been given a DNF for that run. Presumably some more wing contact.
As the guys from Stuttgart rearrange the second corner a bit. But they're looking pretty good through the pendulum. Kiel finishes in 91.88.
Meanwhile, Liria, car number 80, takes off for their third run of the day, the Portuguese team. With a spin just before the hairpin. It's like there's a cone wedged up under the front wheel of the car. Marshals have managed to remove it. I can't hear the engine running. Sounds like he may have gotten it refired.
And Stuttgart puts in a 74.36.
Meanwhile, the Liria car has gotten going again, making its way to the hairpin.
Yep, and I believe that the previous fastest time of Stuttgart will still stand, because this one was, he hit a couple of cones in this one, I think, at least 2.
And the driver from Liria hits a cone. It looks like the corner is still in the box where it began. University of Siegen takes the green flag in car E104 for their first run.
And Laria had a small slide, but it appears the driver has been able to keep the car on the track.
Let's take another cone, potentially. Kiel with a second run of 81.62 seconds. It's over 10 seconds faster than their first run, quite a good improvement for them. Lyria now with their fourth run of the day.
Let's see if they can get through the first couple corners.
US Darmstadt with the green flag for their first run. Meanwhile, the Portuguese team continues to circulate, just about to approach the cone chicane. That runs much better, a time of 89.36 seconds, their fastest run of the day on their final run. University of Siegen looking to improve on their first run of 83.12 seconds.
And it's Akron back on track. They were pretty quick with their first driver.
Darmstadt finishes with a time of 80.72 seconds on their first run. Siegen improves their time by just about 4 seconds, up to 79.71 seconds in their second run.
And here we have the Indian team on track.
Akron looking quite quick through the cone pillar chicane with their biplane front wing, making their way through the last few corners of the track. They finish with a time of 79.68 seconds, which is slower than the time they'd set previously.
Meanwhile, China has negotiated
Darmstadt with a time of 78.22 on their second run, and Akron is now on their fourth and final run of the day. Akron with a big slide through wings, but he manages to keep it pointed in the right direction. His way through the slalom and over around towards the horseshoe. Meanwhile, Chennai finishes their lap with a time of 1:01.70. It's their first run. Akron approaching the Cone Killer chicane. So they have another clean run they've put together. And Akron finishes with a time of 77.14 seconds, their quickest time of the day. But unfortunately, they've been given a DNF, presumably for their wings touching the ground once again. Chennai making their way past us again. As Hamburg approaches the starting line. A bit of flag waving going on. Bangkok crosses the finish line at 86.09 seconds. That was their fourth run of the day. Must have had a rerun at some point because they're getting line to go again. Engine is sounding a bit rough at this point, though. Hamburg's taking the green flag, making their way through the pendulum now. Looks like they've taken out a cone on the way. Chennai finishes their second run with a time of 96.36 seconds. About 4 seconds faster than their previous run, 5 seconds. US Hamburg really pushing through the kink, through chain breaker. A bit of a slide across the finish line. Finishes the time of 73.21 seconds. That's not an improvement on one of their previous times. They're trying to make that improvement now in their final run coming up. Bit of a slide from Zurich around the pendulum. Bangkok with a time of 85.66 seconds, a few tenths of a second better than their previous best. It's their final run of the day, so they've ended on a high note. ETH Zurich still pushing through the final few turns, a bit of a slide. Across the line in 69.42 seconds. This is a very quick time. Hamburg now at the starting line for their final run of the Autocross.
They actually got a DNF. I'm not sure why. It's probably because of bottoming. team from UAS Hamburg is now waiting for their final run. They also got a DNF in their third run, but they did put in a run that was legal, and it was a very fast one of 70.65, which puts them in a second position overall in the combustion class so far. Let's see if they can keep it clean this run, and if it's going to be faster than 70.65.
Driver is certainly pushing again on this run. A bit sideways as he passes us. Meanwhile, Zurich takes out a cone on the first corner. How unfortunate.
Looking very spectacular through the pendulum. Kicking out the back. Going sideways again. He's really pushing this time. He knows he has to make up for that cone.
Oh, a time of 69.9 from Hamburg. Puts them just a few tenths off the quickest combustion time of the day. Let's hope that time will stand.
That puts him only a quarter of a second behind Stuttgart. It's a very solid second place now.
A big cheer from the crowd in the stands. Time was 69.59 from Zurich. Another quick time, but we've got to add the cone to that as well. So we've got Coburg on track making their third run, and University of Thessaly now making their third run as well. Coburg really pushing and finishes with a time of 72.07 seconds. That's a very good time. As Thessaly is making their way through the pendulum and over towards wings.
That is a very solid time for Coburg. It puts them in a solid 6th spot, and there's still 1 run left to go.
Ren Team Stuttgart takes the green flag. This is their 4th and final run. Oh, he gets a bit loose and takes out 2 cones on the way into the hairpin. Manages not to spin. Now Coburg back on track for their 4th and final run. They've made the same mistake as Stuttgart and taken out the same exact cone going into the hairpin. Everybody's pushing a bit too hard in that area of the track.
That is such a shame though, because the Coburg car definitely had more potential. If the driver could go that fast in his first run, he surely would have been able to go even faster than 6th place overall.
Renault now on track for their 3rd run.
So Stuttgart also got a cone in this run, but this time will still show us sort of how fast this car can go in the hands of this driver, and it's a 69.11. That is a significant improvement, or it would be without the cone. But let's see what he can do in his final run.
Coburg coming around the final turn here. Driver still pushing as hard as ever. Time's a 71.5. We've got to add in the cone they hit at the beginning of the lap. Still a very good time for Coburg. Ren Team Stuttgart smoothly through the pendulum this lap. Car from Augsburg, E69, takes the green flag for their third lap today. And T. Bruno with a time of 76.89 on their third run. That's the quickest time they've set today. Bit of a lockup over the finish line.
Right, this could well be the fastest time of the day for the combustion cars. It is a 68.70. So that's another 0.4 of a second quicker than our previous lap. But from our perspective, it looked like it was clean too, so that's great.
As an aside, it looks like T. Bruno has received a DNF for their last run.
Considering that we only have 15 minutes left in the Autocross, this may well have been the fastest time of the day. But I see GFR queuing up, so who knows?
Augsburg with a time of 77.45 seconds on their third run, their best time of the day. As Aachen takes the green flag for their third run. Unfortunately, it looks like Augsburg's received a DNF. Hopefully they can sort it out for their last run of the day. They've taken the green flag. Bruno rounding the final few corners of the track. Finished with a time of 75.19 seconds. It's their fastest lap of the day. TU Munich takes the green flag. This is their second run. Bit of a cone hit for Munich as they approach the hairpin. And Aachen finishes with a time of 75.66, their personal best of the session. Looks like Aachen has received a DNF for their finish just now. Augsburg with a time of 77.49, which appears to be their quickest time of the day, although it's just been taken away and they've received another DNF. Munich pushes across the line. Finished with a time of 68.45 seconds. Well, that's the fastest combustion time of the day. I believe they've taken out a cone. So they're going to have to repeat that feat in the next run and try to do a smooth run. Munich with a clean run so far through the pendulum. Looking very quick once again too. ISAT from Nevers is currently taking the green flag for the third time. And Aachen approaches chain breaker, rounds the corner, crosses the line. With a time of 75.13 seconds. But unfortunately, that's been taken away from them. So some more wing contact issues. Meanwhile, Munich is still going quickly through the kink, approaching chain breaker. Through the final corner. It's a 67.56. Fastest lap time of the day by over 0.8 of a second. Amazing run from Munich. Purple time with just 17 minutes left to go in the event. TU Graz with the start of their third run.
And here comes GFR. It's a 71.13. That's a significant gap to the time that Munich just put down.
ISAT never taking the green flag. It looks like they're having the front wheel being raised off the ground as they make turns through the first set of corners. Yeah, the front wheels are definitely coming way off the ground. So there's 6 inches of clearance there. Driver doing his best to keep it in a straight line. I think if he had wings, he'd definitely be bottoming them out.
TU Graz is about to finish. And it's a 70.58. Meanwhile, GFR are looking for an extra 3.5 seconds to beat the best time.
Car from ISAT making its way through the final few corners. Front wheel in the air. Quite a bit of understeer. Oh! Across the line on 3 wheels. Time of 79.28. Not quite as quick, but much more spectacular than their previous runs.
From where we were sitting, it almost looked like a wheelie rather than just lifting one wheel. GFR pounding through the last corner. And it's a 72.22, 67.22. I can't pronounce it anymore in all the excitement, but they actually did beat München's time only minutes after they posted in the first place by 0.33 of a second.
It's an amazing run from them. As TU Graz starts their 4th run now. And the GFR electric machine starts their 3rd run. See what they can do compared to the combustion car, which is at the fastest time of the day at 67.22.
I gotta say, it's pretty amazing that the driver from GFR actually found 4 seconds after what looked to be a pretty composed first run. Graz have some trouble on the starting line, but now they're approaching the finish line. And it has taken them 69.47 seconds. Looks like we're saving all the best times for last. Graz's time puts them on a 4th position, with Stuttgart now in 3rd, excuse me. Munich in 2nd, and GFR in 1st in the combustion class.
The electric car from GFR has just run a 69.92 second run. to have some trouble getting out of the hairpin. I think he's got the engine refired. Some backfiring, some revving. You can see the driver hard at work through the see-through body work he's got there. See his legs.
With all the DNFs and all the cones, we're not quite sure which times are legal and which aren't anymore, but GFR's Electric's time of 69.92 puts them 0.3 of a second behind Delft's fastest time that we know was legal, but they still have a fourth run. Let's see if they can cut away those last 0.3 of a second.
And speaking of all those DNFs, it looks like we've just got another one from Regensburg, car number 62, on their first run. Berlin making the way through the last corner. Crosses the line. Time of 83.98 seconds. Regensburg comes through the pendulum once again. It's their second run of the day. The GFRE car pushes through the final corner. It's sort of 69.91 seconds, very consistent from the second driver, just 100th of a second of difference between the third and fourth runs. Maybe they've got the stick driving for them, who knows? Berlin with another taking the green flag for their fourth run of the day. Next up, we've got car number 28 from Kassel. Approaches the green flag amidst cheers from the stands. Regensburg's second run ends with a 79.45 seconds. As TU Berlin continues to make their way around the circuit. Kassel University takes the green flag, being urged on by all the supporters in the stands. Clapping probably gives an extra 3 or 4 horsepower, I'd say. Making their way through the pendulum. TU Berlin finishes their fourth run with a time of 77.29 seconds. That's their fastest time of the day. Fortunately, it looks like Regensburg's been given a DNF as well as TU Berlin on the last 2 runs they've gone. So 4 out of the past 5 runs have ended up in DNFs. Hopefully that trend will change. Car number 99, UAS Karlsruhe taking the green flag. And Kassel finishes with a time of 73.12 seconds. That's their fastest time of the day. UAS Karlsruhe takes the green flag. It's their first run. And CTU Prague is also on their first run of the day. With just 8 minutes remaining in Autocross.
Yep, it is exactly 7 o'clock right now, which is the original closing time of the Autocross. With the extension, we have an additional 7 minutes. Let's see how many cars we can get through Autocross in that time.
The Delft car approaches the starting line. Some cheers from the stands. About set to take the green flag. CTU Prague finishes with a time of 77.5. And Delft takes the green flag. Let's see what they can do here. Oh, it looks like they've tipped a cone.
Delft, of course, got a DNF on their last run for touching the ground. Their fastest legal run is a 69.63.
US Karlsruhe finishes their first one with a time of 76.4. And CTU Prague takes off for their second lap.
Delft's at the last couple corners. Sliding. And as he crosses the line, it's 68.39. Of course, don't forget, they did get a cone in that run. If they had not, it would have been the fastest electric time today. Still one run left.
The University of Wuppertal takes the green flag for their first lap of the day. As CTU Prague finishes with a time of 74.41, 3-second improvement from their first lap. Oh, it appears as if Wuppertal is stopped on track. It looks like the bottom of the car may be resting on the ground. Oh. Possibly some sort of suspension failure. It's a bit far away, but the driver seems to be staying in the car for the moment.
I think that indicates a suspension failure.
Driver's getting out of the car now. Hopefully the referee started his watch for added time. Marshals are beginning to wheel the stricken car off the track. Pushing as fast as they can. Everybody give them a cheer. They've done such a great job today. Keeping all the cones where they need to be, getting all the broken down cars out of the way. All the volunteers make this event possible, so big round of applause for all the red shirts.
So I'd say that has cost us an extra 3 minutes or so. We'll have to see if that means that the extension will get extended even further up to 7:10, but maybe not. Anyway, it's now Delft up next.
From a completely unbiased point of view, I really think they should extend the time to 7:10.
Delft's DRS working hard. They're flying through the wings.
It's like Oxford
Clean
Brooks has
slalom.
made it to the green flag.
As Karlsruhe UAS finishes their second run with a 74.25.
Ulm is currently making their way around the first section of track.
Delft at the finish line. Run appeared clean from where we were. It's a 68.23. And that puts them at the top of the board of the electric class.
And Oxford Brooks takes the green flag.
Oxford Brooks is starting now. I believe that is the last car to start for today. It's now 7-8.
Oxford Brooks with a quick run so far through the pendulum and into wings. Driver's really pushing. Meanwhile, comes around the final corner. They finished their first run at the time of 108.95. You know, Oxford Brooks is over on the jump. Made their way through the cone killer chicane. It looked like a clean run for Oxford Brooks. The time was 72.23 seconds. It's another very quick time from them. And it looks like Oxford Brooks will be the last car running at Autocross today.
Oxford Brooks' fastest time of the previous driver was a 71.61, so their second driver actually got within 0.7 of 1 second on his third run. So he may well be able to go even faster in the second.
I think the first run had a cone in it, so this is the effective quickest time for Oxford Brooks. Good improvement for them. And, after their late appearance to skid pad yesterday, they really know how to cut the timeline tight. Waiting for the green flag now.
Oxford Brooks' current best time would put him in 8th place in the combustion class.
All making their way around the back of the circuit, just past the jump. Oxford Brooks gets the green flag. The final autocross run of the day.
The Oxford Brooks driver is looking for another half a second, 0.7 of a second actually, for 7th position, or another 1.7 for an overall 6th. But he takes a cone in the very last kink of the pendulum.
The driver's still pushing 110% for the last half of the lap here. Make his way over the jump. Making his way through Cone Killer chicane, through the kink, into chain breaker, sideways through chain breaker, and he crosses
He keeps
the
it
line.
clean.
Time of 70.15 seconds, plus 1 cone. So a quick time for Oxford Brooks bodes well for endurance. And with that brings the end to Autocross for the day. Some spectacular driving antics to finish off the event.
So on the board you can all see a roundup of the best times for today. Do keep in mind that those include cones. So it's actually kind of hard. We don't have an overview right here as well of what were legal times and what weren't. Again, the disclaimer that we are not entirely sure of the cones, but we believe that numbers 1 and 2 and 3 in the combustion class all had clean runs. So GFR Munich and Stuttgart actually have this time. I'm not entirely sure about TU Graz or UAS Hamburg. We do know that in the electric class, both Karlsruhe and Zurich had a cone on their fastest lap. Delft's lap, however, was clean.